What is your name and what does it mean?
Right, my name is Lucas Henry, and Lucas means the light. Yeah.
And where is your birthplace and where do you live presently?
Right, so I was born in the Eastern region. I'm currently living in Accra, Accra region.
What's the name of your business?
So my business name, I derived my business name from my name, which is Lucas Henry, and I added image to it. So in full, my business name is Lucas Henry Image.
And when and why did you start Lucas Henry Image?
Right, so I started Lucas Henry Image in the year 2015. So a little backstory to how my business came about. I finished secondary school and I came to Accra. I finished my secondary school in the Volta region and I came to Accra. But I was coming from a background where day in, day out, you have to be in a survival mode. Survival mode in the sense that everything you do, your life depends on it. So you would have to go in harder each and every day to be able to earn something to survive. So I came to Accra knowing nobody apart from my mom. And there was a friend I met on Facebook who introduced me to his friend because I do graphic design. So by meeting this person, he ended up saying, okay, I've seen your results is good, it's because of financial situations, that is why you would be home, you're looking for means to earn money. So what happened is, I will support you to go to the university, what do you want to learn? And I explained to him what my desire was. I was actually going in for graphic communication because I was good in graphic design already, but life happens. So this person wanted to help me and I helped him in a bit in his business because I do graphics, design flyers and stuff. But the time for him to enroll me in his university came and we were to buy forms. But it never happened because in his mind, later on I got to know that he wasn't really into me to support, but he was rather into his business, wanting me to help his business. So what happened was, the time came for us to purchase the form and then do the application. He told me the next day, I called severally, he didn't answer, and that ends it. When I came to the office the next day, I was open to anything that I could do to earn money and to further my education. So he was like, well, am I interested in photography? I was like, yeah, I mean, so long as it's art, I can do it. And he went online, he got a short course, which was for 6 months. And the deadline was the next week, Monday. And we were searching the slot or the school on Friday. So the next week, Monday was their deadline. And he called the school, make inquiries. And the following Monday, he gave me half payment, which was that time 1,200 cedis. And the half payment was around 600 cedis. He gave it to me to pay. Long story short, I started the school. He didn't fulfill his promises. I had to work my ass out and pay the rest of the bills and whatever I have to do to be able to finish, I did. I had to even work in the school to be able to pay the rest of my fees. I mean, so when I finished, I started helping my colleagues in a bit, and through that, I established myself through photography. And this photography business I started, I didn't want it to be I stand alone. I want it to be a little bit attached to me because it's very dear to me. The reason I started it is quite dear to me, so I wanted it to be attached. So I used my name and I added an image. And the image stands for whatever that I do, whatever result that I produce out of photography, it must mean something to the person I'm producing it for. So I stand in for an image, and the image is a result that I produce each and every time. Yeah.
What's one thing about being a business owner that you didn't expect?
That's a struggle to make ends meet because working in Ghana and being an entrepreneur in Ghana is quite stressful. Reason being that things that we're supposed to get to push us, we don't get, and day in, day out, government institutions, especially being an entrepreneur in Ghana, is extremely difficult. I had no idea this is how it is, and nobody tells you. I mean, the advice is be on your own and you can make it, but the truth is you have to be extremely disciplined to be on your own to be able to make it in our space. Yeah.
What's the best advice you've received as a business owner?
In photography, one person told me before that be disciplined and make your camera your passport, and you can go everywhere. And I think that has happened. First trip I had was because of photography. That was one of the best advice I've ever got. Get disciplined and make your camera your passport.
How has travel served as a portal to your transformation? What new ideas or insights has it sparked for you?
Right, so before I was doing portrait photography and few of events, and I met a friend of mine and my schoolmates was in Tamale, and a friend of his was coming from the States to do a documentary, and I was invited to be the photographer for the documentary. That was the first that I moved out of Accra to do a project in the documentary world. Now, after that, this person introduced me to a travel agency he works with, which is Uprise Travel. Right, and through these people, I was able to travel out of my country to a different country, to be able to have an external experience. That was the first time I've ever traveled using my work as in my craft photography. And this has changed the narrative as to how we see, the perspective of how we see things, or I see things in terms of the creative world. So yes, this travel with photography has given me a different dynamic in terms of how my photography work, or how I see my photography work. Yeah.
10 years from now, in 2033, give us a glimpse of where you think you'll be.
Well, I want Lucas Image to be a global name, and not just a global name, but a very respected and reputable one, of course. Yeah.
So my last question, where can we find out more about your business?
Well, I'm on Instagram, and I have a website as well, which is lucashenryimage.com, and on Instagram is Lucas Henry Image, Facebook Lucas Henry Image, and on YouTube I don't post much there because I don't do a lot of video content. So yeah, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Lucas Henry Image, and on my website is lucashenryimage.com.
Thank you. My bonus question, is there anything that you want people in the world to know about Ghana?
Yeah, I do. Ghana is a very lovely place and contains Ghana is one of the centers of the historic nature of the world. If you talk of history, and if you talk of especially in quote the slave trade, one of the centers in the world that holds a history of the world when it comes to slave trade is Ghana. It is a center where the diasporans can trace to know themselves much better. And Ghana is one of the peaceful nations I have known, because this is where I'm born, and I was born here, traveled to other places, and looking at the cultural exchange or the cultural differences, I could say my place is one of the most lovely places. If you want to visit, you should make it a point. It should be on your bucket list.